Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and WandaVision is giving viewers theory whiplash in the wake of Quicksilver Evan Peters.
Whiplash.
A character we assumed was smoking gun confirmation of Fox X-Men crossing over into the MCU. Until episode 6 answered 0 questions about the X-Men and instead made this Pietro a creepy weirdo who either knows too much or too little. So, is Evan Peters Pietro X-Men Quicksilver or not? If he is, how the hell will WandaVision explain that? And if he's not, if he is just a disguise for the real big bad, then why did Marvel cast Evan Peters, a guy best known for playing Quicksilver in another franchise, in this role? What are they playing at? Why is Gamora, and how upset should Aaron Taylor Johnson be? Well, not why is Gamora, no one will ever know, sorry Drax. Okay, the moment Evan Peters Pietro arrived, audience surrogate Darcy encapsulated our confusion with this question.
She recast Pietro?
Acknowledging that the whole MCU does not have facial blindness as they did with Bruce Banner and Rhodey, but rather, Pietro Maximoff in the MCU is supposed to be Aaron Taylor Johnson, and that Evan Peters is an intrusive replacement. So was Evan Peters Pietro plucked from a Fox X-Men reality within a multiverse that the MCU is now merging with? Well, Pietro's final line in episode 5 began to clue us into what's going on here.
Who's a popsicle?
Yes, notice that he is not weirded out by seeing Vision as Vision, something that they have kept from everyone else within the Westview anomaly, and instead that this guy knows Vision should be a cold, lifeless corpse. Already we're seeing how this Pietro is not part of the Westview Hex. But more importantly, it tells us that this Pietro cannot be the Aaron Taylor Johnson Pietro recast because he died in Age of Ultron. That was 3 years before Vision died in Infinity War. And episode 6 doubled down on Pietro's impossible omniscience with his joke about Vision's death.
Don't sweat it, sis. It's not like your dead husband can die twice.
Meanwhile, when this Pietro is asked about his past, he recalls a history completely removed from anything we saw Evan Peters Quicksilver go through in the Fox X-Men franchise, but rather a kind of spotty recollection of Aaron Taylor Johnson's history.
Details are fuzzy, man. I got shot like a chump in the street for no reason at all, and next thing I know, I heard you calling me.
But the problem here is Aaron Taylor Johnson Pietro would not have described his death as being shot like a chump in the street for no reason. He used himself as a human shield to save the life of Hawkeye and that Sokovian kid. So this description sounds like it's coming from an outside observer who doesn't give a shit about human life. So we know that this Evan Peters Pietro is not the Fox X-Men Quicksilver, but he's also not a simple recast of the MCU Aaron Taylor Johnson Pietro. He is something else. Someone with the goal of making Wanda feel pain.
I'm just trying to do my part, okay? Come to town unexpectedly, create tension with the brother-in-law, stir up trouble with the Rugrats, and ultimately give you grief. I mean, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
And you'll remember the episode 6 opening credits also cast Pietro weirdly as himself, and the recent Funko Pop release put his name in quotes. So based on all this, I had made the case that Evan Peters Pietro is a kind of Halloween costume disguise for the true dark entity trying to exploit Wanda. Either the Marvel villain Nightmare, based on a few of those Nightmare mentions this episode.
We take her out, this whole nightmare ends.
It's a pretty big leap from giving people nightmares and shooting red wiggly woos out of your hands.
Or Mephisto, based on the demonic references in the series.
The devil's in the details, Bev.
That's not the only place he is.
Unleash hell, demon spawn! Damn it if Westview, New Jersey isn't charming as hell.
But still, why Evan Peters though? Why are they confusing us like this? You know, I shouldn't be so critical of these characters. I don't have very good financial credit myself. Building my credit score is up there with learning how to parallel park and avoiding ketchup stains, as some of the biggest lessons we all have to learn as we grow up. Well, Petal is here to help with the credit one. Petal is a credit card company that wants to help you succeed financially. That's why the Petal One card is designed to help you build credit. When you apply for Petal One, your banking history is used to instantly create a cash score. It could help you qualify for a better credit card, even if you've never had a credit score before. The Petal One Visa card has no annual fee or international transaction fees. Their app comes with some amazing features. It lets you link your other financial accounts so that you can see everything in one place. And you can see if you're pre-approved without impacting your credit score, and it only takes minutes to apply online. Petal One is partnered with WebBank member FDIC, which issues the cards. As of today, the Petal One variable APRs range from 19.99% to 29.49%. Start building your credit history. Go to petalcard.com/newrockstars today to find out more. That's Petal with a T, Petal, P-E-T-A-L, card.com/new Rockstars. Well, here's the deal. I believe the WandaVision team is trying to give fans some fun fan service, but they have not realized how much fans would interpret this as a concrete crossover. But I'm gonna ask all of you to cool your jets right now, because think, if this were an actual X-Men MCU crossover, think about what that would mean for Kevin Feige. Feige would suddenly be responsible for every plot point from those Fox X-Men films. Some parts, like Evan Peters Quicksilver scenes, are great, but move one degree of separation outward and suddenly Feige has to start answering questions. Like, which X-Men are the real ones? Why does time travel work differently? Is everyone Mystique? Why do all of them never age? And of course, how dare you cross over Quicksilver and Deadpool, but not the true star of this franchise, Vinny Jones the Juggernaut!
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
All of the new young fans who from here forward subscribe to Disney Plus and see X-Men Quicksilver and WandaVision, and then go watch the Fox titles that are also on that streaming service, knowing nothing about release dates or past eras being separate IP franchises, would assume X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix are part of Kevin Feige's MCU. And to that, I'm gonna do my best Kevin Feige here. No fucking way! This guy won't even acknowledge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter as MCU canon, despite those series having the same actors and working their asses off to fit into the MCU movie timeline. Still, they aren't good enough for him. Kevin Feige worked as an associate producer on the first X-Men. He cares deeply about the X-Men brand, but he is way too proud of his MCU Infinity Saga to sully it with a mixed bag of movies that he had nothing to do with. Now, sure. It is entirely possible that the WandaVision team has a secret in-universe explanation for how Quicksilver could have crossed the multiverse to get here. Maybe as a speedster, only he could break through the barrier of time and space into a new timeline. Flashpoint paradox. Or maybe the big bad of this series watches over these separate film franchises like Mojo and is capable of plucking a Quicksilver from one universe and dragging it into another one. Yeah, you feel that reach? Burns, doesn't it? That's because if this insanity has to be explained by Darcy or scrawled on Jimmy Woo's dry erase board, way more people are going to be confused and disappointed than if Evan Peters' cameo is revealed to be something much simpler. A meta nod to fans. An ironic cameo.
Little cameo.
Just a tease that Marvel Studios has access to the X-Men, but is not yet building a complete concrete bridge to a franchise that they don't really need or really want to merge with. Now sure, Marvel may have underestimated how much Evan Peters would melt the brains of the core fan base, or how much casual viewers would take their cues from our gut reactions. Thanks for watching, by the way. But Evan Peters could be as simple as a stunt-casted walk-on role that fans identify as humorously out of place, soon to be revealed as either a disguise worn by a villain or a projection of Wanda's own subconscious, but either way, a temporary red herring, one that won't last beyond this series, and one that will not erase the legacy of Aaron Taylor Johnson, who remains the true Pietro Maximoff of the MCU. Hey, you can continue this nerdy conversation on New Rockstars' official Discord server by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. You can also support us by checking out some of our great merch options, including this shirt and the usual couple at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for all of your WandaVision questions. Thank you for watching.